Good morning, family. Today is Thursday. What a beautiful, second day in September it is. This is the day that the Lord has made. We're going to rejoice and be glad in it. My hope and expectation is that you're ready to kill today. I mean, just get out there and just make some amazing things happen for you, for your family, for your church, your tribe, your community, for the world. We need more go-getters. We need more holy hustlers. We need more grinders. We need more people who have the determination and the diligence and the dedication to do some amazing things on this planet. Now, all week on the Ramon Preston Show, I've been talking about cash flow and how cash flow is king, meaning that cash flow is essential to everything else. It's the most important thing. It's more important than trying to get another job, than trying to fix your credit, than trying to get a loan or get a good paydex score or Duns and Bradstreet number. All that stuff is good, especially for those of you that are entrepreneurs and business owners. All those things play a role and they have their place, but they cannot be more essential, more important than cash flow. And there are 5 levels of cash flow. All right. Number 1 is income. Number 2, cash. Number 3, cash flow. Number 4, a cash flow plan. And number 5, a cash flow cycle. Now, when you think about a cash flow plan, which is where we left off yesterday on the show, you got to think about certain things you need to do to create a cash flow plan. Well, first of all, you need to synchronize all of your creative income strategies. So all the things that you know you can do, like changing your W-4 form, turning your 1099s into an EIN, meaning that if you're an independent contractor, you need to start a business, particularly a holding company and an operating company, so that you can have an EIN number, not use your social security number. So that's synchronizing. You need to sell off everything that can't be bolted down. And if you can unbolt it and sell it. Just get rid of all the garbage and just the stuff we got as consumable items that should actually be liquidated and used as cash that we could put in a flow. You want to synchronize your service strategies, like skill sets that you have that you're not getting paid enough for. You need to synchronize your scaling ability, meaning that you take your time and your effort and you share that time and effort with the world. I'll give you an example of how time and effort works. Okay, let's say you work on a job and you work 40 hours a week. Well, you can actually come in a little early, leave a little late, and check with your supervisor. Let's say if you're not working on a job, but you're 1099. Well, if you're in an industry, whether it's real estate, insurance, network marketing, find other streams within that industry that you can invest a little more time and a little more effort in to get a little more bang. It could be you literally partnering with somebody who has something you don't, and y'all figuring out a medium where they can get a little bit of that and you can get a little bit of that. This is all about synchronization. All right. So once you synchronize all these creative income strategies, then you start setting up. Setting up what? You set up a personal accounting system and a business accounting system. You need to go to an app like mint.com. That's a personal financial management app. You need to track all your personal income and expenses. And then you need to do it for your business. You need to track your business income and expenses. So I like QuickBooks. I'm an ambassador for QuickBooks and I recommend it. I teach it and it's a really, really good app or financial management system. Okay. Then you set up personal and business bank accounts, because you want to be able to separate the two. You want to be able to see, what am I doing personally and what am I doing in my business? You got to separate that, setting aside, setting up. Then you want to set aside. You want to set aside at least 10% of your income for discretionary cash. Now, for me and most of you that's listening, we tithers. So the 10% you set aside to pay your tithes is not the 10% you set aside for discretionary cash. You ain't gonna trick you or God into thinking that, okay, that's tithe that you putting away for cash. No, you need to be paying your tithes and you need to be setting 10% aside for discretionary cash. It's called the pay yourself first principle. So when you get paid in your net pay, and you take away 10% for tithe, and then you take 10% away for discretionary cash to to pay yourself first. Whatever you're left with, if it's not enough to pay your bills, then that just means you got to increase your income. You need more creative income strategies. It doesn't mean that you need to like deny God and deny yourself from putting something aside. This is the problem most people have. They're trying to shrink their budget when they need to be increasing their income. And so once you start setting aside, then you can store for a score. Storing for a score means that all your free cash that you get from all these strategies, you ain't finna go blow that. You're gonna put that aside. You're gonna store it for a score. Have you ever noticed when you're moving and you put something in storage, you don't put it in storage for it to be there forever, even though we probably let it stay there for years. No, you're putting it there, you're storing it until you reposition yourself. That's how you need to do certain cash. Store it for a score. So when you find an opportunity, a score, you're able to just get that cash out the bank account, write a check, transfer it, and boom, you got the opportunity. And last but not least, this is all a part of your creative cash flow plan. You have to sow into flows. I like the word sow because as a Christian, as a man of God, my wife, a woman of God, people of God, we sow into people. We sow into things. We sow into churches. We sow into businesses. My wife and I, we sow all the time. But as business owners, as investors and entrepreneurs, we need to sow into flows, meaning that we need to take some of this cash that we got sitting around and sow it into things that move us closer to wealth. So what are some of those things? Sow into your education. If you're an entrepreneur, business owner, or you're the CEO of your family and you're not being educated on a daily basis because you don't have access to that education. Well, I go to YouTube every day and I blah, blah, blah. I go to Google and I got Wikipedia and all that. Listen, you need to sow into more of a concentrated program like Ramon Preston University, like our coaching program, or somebody else that you might feel like you're in alignment with. But you got to find flows to sow into. Sow into your education. Here's another thing. Sow into proximity. Sow into proximity. Like, think about it. You got money sitting aside that you could spend, you just don't want to spend because you're saving it. You're not storing it. Think about who that money can actually get you in front of. Think about that. Like, as Christians, we don't think about how we can use our money to get in certain rooms and to get in certain circles and to get in front of certain people. Because here's what we thinking. We thinking this as personal people, as Christians. We like, I ain't got to buy my way. You're thinking crazy as a person. And from a Christian perspective or a religious perspective, I'm talking about from business, like for business purposes. If I take my money and I pay my money, or I take my money and put it somewhere and it gets me closer to people who gonna help better me and get my business booming and get me in front of more clients, I'm supposed to want to do that. But if I take my principles as a person or my theological principles or my Christian views and be like, yeah, but I ain't gonna be doing that because I'm gonna let God do it. Like, as if God is like just gonna force you to make certain business decisions. No, God understands you got to market yourself, you got to brand yourself, you got to buy into certain things. Come on, let's not be crazy and be so deep with it. All right, so sow into flows. What are some other flows you could sow into? You could sow into staff. Okay, you could sow into bringing somebody on to help you and to expand your team. So there are a lot of things you could do to create that cash flow plan. If you forgot all the things that I just said, go back, rewatch the video, get the 5 levels of cash flow, then take the 5 steps to create a cash flow plan. And don't forget a few other things. These are some morning housekeeping rules. Join me today, 12 o'clock noon, on the Ramon Preston Show, and go to RamonPrestonBrands.com and holla at your boy. Pick up some of that merch. We're adding new items and inventory to that website. And if you're not a part of our 1-year business coaching program, you better get in because we're getting ready to end it. Have an amazing day. I love you, praying for you, and you know we're here for you. All you have to do is give us a holler, give us a text, give us a call, send us an email. Come to Buckhead, knock on my door. They ain't gonna let you in, but at least you can knock and we'll figure out a way to get you in. I'll see you on the other side of this amazing Thursday.